What we're proposing for Shasta County is a new detention facility, and we haven't named it yet. So you'll hear detention facility, you'll hear a rehabilitation and correctionals campus, or vice versa. We're all talking about the same thing. The concept is behind it is it's not a traditional jail type of facility. It does have that component to it, but it also has the component of serving various different populations that we run into. What's happened in this state over time is particularly mental health services have been pushed on to jails. But at the same token, so has the work release programs that the state used to kind of govern, so has the education component, so has drug addiction. There's all these things that cause crisis within a community that the jail end up having to deal with. So as we look forward to how we can better serve the community and what the community needs are, we're looking at this new facility. And the design, at least the first one we proposed, and understand this is way early in the process and we don't know where we're going to go with it. The design that I proposed and we're kind of looking at initially here is kind of resembles a wagon wheel. That's what I use to kind of explain the design the best I can. That center hub of that wheel is the intake facility. That's where when people are booked, they'll come into that central area, and that controls all the spokes of this wagon wheel. Each spoke has its pod of detention, if you will. So what happens is when you're booked into that central location, there's a classification process that goes on, and we try to find out about where each person is more appropriately placed within this facility. For example, if I was to arrest an individual and I take them to jail and they're being booked on burglary and vandalism, for example, and during the intake process we realize that they have some severe mental health issues. So we arraign the person on those charges still, so we have that hanging over their head. But then we send them to the spoke that specializes in mental health. And we will be in partnership with folks who have that expertise, nonprofits, health and human services, whoever it is that has the expertise per the spoke. Now there's different spokes in this design. There's drug addiction spoke, there's an educational spoke, there's a homeless spoke, there is various different spokes to deal with different disciplines and populations that we're going to be dealing with. And the correctional officers, deputies, and correctional staff although they get training in those areas, they aren't the professionals in those areas. We're good at custody and trying to keep people safe and providing the required law environment for them and want to provide a secure facility. Those folks that have the expertise in those spokes are who we're going to partner with and will help us run those pods and those programming in those pods. Now, the bottom line though here is we are not going to sacrifice accountability. This is not a give you free stuff, nothing for nothing. As I said, you would be arraigned on your charges and sent off to that particular spoke. Now, this is the person who's arrested or detained opportunity to participate in their own recovery. What we want is help the people that need help and the people that actually want help and will participate in their own recovery. After they go through the program, hopefully we have services to connect them with transitioning them back into the community. And if they do and are successful and have participated and cooperated in the process, then we'll be willing to look at those charges and reduce them and perhaps even drop those charges and get people productive back in our society. Now there's going to be a segment of those people that come to custody and come in through this process who don't want to cooperate and who want to play a game and try to pretend they're cooperating or just want to services. We're going to have several other spokes in that wagon wheel which operate like a traditional jail, which are custody at various different security levels of custody and who don't get the program and are going to do their time. So the idea behind the facility is that we can start getting people off the streets. Criminals, people that have mental health issues, people that have drug addiction issues, people that have homeless issues, all those people will start pulled off the street and served in either reprogrammed, if you will, and become back as members of our society that aren't sucking up all of our resources, or they will start doing their time. And over time, what will happen is, if I'm dealing with somebody, let's say you, and we're going to weekly to a call to deal with you, and we're going to be arresting you and putting you in and making you serve your time, because we will now have the bed space to make you serve your time. And if people don't want to go along with the program and they're getting tired of getting arrested in Shasta County, which is what we're going to do, then they can go to one of the other 57 counties in this state and get free stuff and get out of our county. And the people that we can help and have a support system and want to participate, we're going to help, and hopefully they will also become a less strain on our resources. And that's the whole concept behind the model. Now, the other part of the model that makes it different is it's not a traditional vertical design indirect supervision type of jail like we have now. This type of model has the correctional staff very interactive with the inmates that are in custody. And the design also is linear to where it's single story. It's not built up, it's built out. And so, yes, I need more space, 40 to 60 acres to build this on, because we're going to have work release program, growing food, all that stuff on the same facility. But it's also designed to add on to later if we need to expand and accommodate for bigger populations as 30, 40 years down the road goes on and they need more space. Never know what that's going to look like, but we'll definitely lay it out so it's easy to do that and add on. Overall, it will definitely be a game changer for this community. It will change the face of how we deal with people in custodies and services that many of them already exist in the community, but are not consolidated and not being run efficiently. And that includes the jail. I'm not pointing the fingers at anybody else. We all need to come together, all of these different disciplines, and start doing things more effectively and produce better results, because waste of money in different silos is just not working.
Did you come up with this? Is this being done elsewhere? Kind of a combination?
Yeah, kind of a little variation. I would like to say my great mind discovered it all, but that's not in fact entirely true. I have done a lot of research on it. I've been involved with it for quite a while, and it's kind of morphed into this particular idea, stolen from a bunch of different ideas that are out there. About three and a half years ago, I proposed a similar thing to the Board of Supervisors when I was Chief of Police of Anderson. It was a little different model because they were looking at putting in a kind of a shelter at that time, so I proposed a model to work in conjunction with that. But now as we've moved forward, and now that I'm the sheriff and we're looking at a new detention facility, it's kind of grown together as being an idea that can all function as one campus, if you will.
Practical standpoint, the cost, the number of the personnel that you would need, the size, as you said, 40 to 60 acres.
Yeah.
Where are we with all that?
Yeah, that's very early on. We don't have any of that nearly worked out at this point. This was just brought forward to the Board of Supervisors as an initial groundwork type of very minimal effort put into it, because we want to see the direction the community and the Board of Supervisors wants to go. If they don't want to go down this road, and they don't want, they can't or don't want us to pursue this, then I guess we won't go any farther. But my personal opinion is that as a community we need it, and we need to figure it out. It's very complex. It takes cooperation from a lot of different people. And there's going to have to be egos set aside. There's going to have to be concessions made by all disciplines involved to make this thing work. And financing is a big deal, which everybody asks, where's the money going to come from? The Board of Supervisors set aside $18 million already last year or year before that, anticipation of going down this road. There's ARPA funds coming in. There's some other avenues that we may be able to secure to help get us there. The financial part's not mine. That's the CEO's job, and he's working on that on his part. I'm working on mine for conceptually and design ideas for where we want to go.
else you want to say?
No, I just appreciate the fact that people are at least interested in hearing it and have questions. One thing that is going to be huge in this going forward is public input and having those forums, those town forums, those meetings where people can interject their ideas, offer their services, give their input, all those things as we hopefully move forward with this. And really ultimately we'll see where it goes, and the Board of Supervisors were supportive in wanting to hear different ideas and different opinions and different explorations into this path we might go down.